it's just a personal question, but like I said, I traveled. I got to how they do, outpatient and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But your practice is so unique. Every single patient were your friend, more than a friend, I would say, in my eyes. Over the time, Paul, what I found out is that, if you do a surgery to the patient, mm-hmm. there's a certain, kind of indissoluble bond happens between you and your patients. Mm-hmm. That's what I found out. They are not, like a born family, or they are not a friend before, but it's something different, the relationship between the surgeon and the patient. That's what I found. So I kind of feel very sad and, difficult when they are in difficulties, but I feel the joy as they feel joy, That's kind of, it's transferring to me as well. I'm just a surgeon, not a, their family or friend, but that I believe what I think that, where I found it, where I learned it is from you, I guess. It is something, I got it, but when I saw you hugging your patients and they were always so, I can tell their faces, their faces are emotionless when they're sitting at the lobby, but when they first see you, they become a different person. They become very happy and joy of life. How did you, started it?
I'm sure my father have much in common, and we're loving, intimate people. You call one of our mentors Papa. So you're a very intimate guy. So it's innate. It's in our genes, and yours and my genes. So and you're good at it. And so not only are you a great salesperson when it comes to getting that implant put in the guy, the patients love you, and you do a great job. But it was Victor Politano, and you know the name. Politano, the Politano-Ledbetter reimplantation. It was something that we learned a long time ago. He was my chief, and he was a big Italian fella. And he would take the time and sit down, and he would put his hand, and look how close, like right here on the patient, right? Very intimate, but I would watch that patient melt. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with being intimate with your patients. And when you do, it has to relate to better outcomes, and it definitely relates to a much better practice, and like I said, look around at all the great donated gifts, but I saw him do that, and that stuck with me. But it's got to be in your genes, and I'm sure that if my father and your father met, they would be brothers right away. Something similar to that.
I guess, the reason why you are able to do that is because you have a good, successful outcomes. Otherwise, I saw some, physicians, they are setting up emotional barrier between them and the patients.
Right.
Let's say if they are too close, then it's like something bad happens to your friend, you really feel bad, right? But if you already set a barrier, they become a different individual, then you really don't feel anything from them. What happens to them? That's what I saw in.
Yeah. So if you have worse outcomes, you would set a barrier up. Now, I haven't thought of it that way, but that's got to be true. And I'm looking at certain people that I know that don't have the greatest outcomes, and they're kind of nasty with their patients, probably to protect themselves. Yeah. I can see that being the case.
You know what? I guess that's the reason why you become a happy person. You made them happy, right? You made them intimate. Like ignoring the bond between the surgeon and the patient, and they have to pretend they don't care, right? Right. Living a life like that is just a masquerade. Yeah. They can't live their own life. Right. But by living your own life, not lying, I would say, not masquerading yourself, not faking yourself, and you show them in truth, honest and transparency. I got it now. Your transparency is the reason why you are able to, most of the patients so far, my patients are over their 50s or 60s. They have their own wisdom to choose who they want. Right. So when I first started, I had nothing. I was just starting, right? So I had to exaggerate myself, but it wasn't the right thing, I guess. I got it over, I just had to admit that I'm a new guy. I'm a younger. I mean, I have not that much experience, but what I can do is I will do my best. How I, I'll say evolved over the time. I become more transparent, and then patients I was surprised. They chose me to be their surgeon. Maybe it's a stage of overcoming myself, admitting that I'm nothing but a surgeon. But these days, as I become more honest and transparent, patients love it. That's what I found.
I didn't get it, what you just said, until last year. And this year at the AUA, where they ask us to discuss where experts get in trouble. And I guess they wanted me to talk about difficult cases. And the first thing that I brought up was exactly what you just said, which is experts get in trouble when they're not completely transparent.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it took me till 57, and you got it already.
Yeah.
Around 40. And I was, and it was great to look across the room and say, because I've done it myself, describe why you used which implant or here and which implant there. Describe exactly what anatomical changes the patient's going to experience. And the more transparent you are, and the more honest you are with both yourself and the patient, the happier that patient is going to be. Not only because you're setting expectations, but they trust you, and they trust you with their one dick.
Yeah.
As you said. So that was something, that was a light bulb that came to me last year, and you got it already, which is, I've always said, and if I'm supposed to be looking at I don't know if I'm looking at a camera, I've always said that you are the prime example of what a niche surgeon should do. They should go see everybody. You actually went way above and beyond. You went around the world looking at what everybody does, and then you took the best of everybody and made the hybrid that is now Sean Park. So, anybody that goes to your office is going to walk out happy, and I hope you're as happy as I am when you're an old man like me.
No, you are not old at all.